Hearing none, public comments.
Yes, sir. My name is William Perez. I think my address and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here to discuss Veteran Story Hour, which is a nonprofit 501c3 incorporated in Florida. And the purpose of the Veteran Story Hour is to help teach civics and patriotism and what unites us as a nation as opposed to what divides us. Courses are basically, well, actually, it's actually expanded from kindergarten to fifth grade because we're actually teaching fifth graders as well. And there's an adult portion. So things we cover is about like the U.S. flag, the origin of the U.S. flag, about Betsy Ross, being one of the first women business owners, sole women business owner, a widow. A lot of folks don't realize that she was a business owner in the United States. Solely owned woman company. And sort of like for the next talks, then we talk about things that about our nation, our symbols, our model, like what's our national fruit. If you read my brochure, you'll know it's the blueberry. What's our national tree? So things like that we cover. And at the end of each time, I teach them how to sing a song. Now, can I sing? Oh no, I cannot sing. But I make them sing, and we don't enjoy it, And I already have been teaching this class from second graders to fifth graders at Sunshine Elementary, and they love it. They booked me for every course module I have. And so after we talk about the U.S. government and the seal and our motto, each for and God we trust, we talk about each branch of service, their history, why they exist, what they do, and how they do it. And each time we learn the songs. And the goal of the whole thing is to try to instill in the kids, a sense of national identity and sense of patriotism. When I went to school in Miami Lakes Elementary in the 70s, just about every teacher was either a veteran or married to a veteran because we had a draft. And so I even had teachers who were World War II people, when I was in elementary school. So it was like embedded in the curriculum. I learned every single patriotic song to include Yankee Doodle Day, and I still remember the words. But that kind of all went away. And it's not due to the teacher's fault, it's due to the demographic change where there is no draft. Very few people understand the military and what you serve. So part of this thing was to set up an organization composed of veterans who have experience teaching to come out and assist the teachers to help fill that gap. The adult portion is, I already did a class with the Chamber of Commerce, and I learned a lot from that class. I learned to make it even simpler, I think, more refined. But that's designed for certain clubs, like specific clubs at high schools that have an interest in like the model UN, or because I can talk about the UN Security Council and the UN and how they operate and keeping peace and security, they call it. They have a whole section on that in their UN charter and how they operate. And I give an example with the Gulf War, showing how peace and security was maintained using resolutions and stuff like that until the war started. Also, international relations theory is something that's really interesting to them because it talks about how each administration approaches foreign policy. And then for like professional organizations like the Miami Lakes Bar Association, I have Law of War, which talks about the Hague Convention, Geneva Conventions, and all those kind of things. So, the adult classes, from my background, I was an adjunct professor after I retired at Marine Corps University for 3 years. And so I taught national security studies. So basically I'm taking those courses for the adult portion and just kind of, toning it down a few notches, because I'm not teaching majors and chief warrant officers and 10 colonels, who live in that area and talking acronyms, because everything's acronyms. And so, making it more approachable to younger students who have an interest in that and adults who have an interest in that. So that's basically what I'm doing with this charity. Of course, it's at no cost. And the goal is actually twofold. Besides teaching the kids, is I find that spending time with young kids and their enthusiasm lifts your spirit a lot. I mean, I have so many funny stories of these classes I teach, you know, when the kids are asking me about sea monsters and stuff like that. That's what they're interested in, sea monsters. I didn't even mention sea monsters, but whatever. And so one of the things I want to do is, you know, get more volunteer veterans to get involved. We have a force, everything's on PowerPoint, everything is standardized. And we have a training methodology that we're going to do, you know, where they observe, then they teach with somebody who's a mentor, trainer will mentor them, and then they're ready to go off on their own. And with that, you know, I think it will help those veterans who need to find like some joy in their life, you know what I mean? Bring joy in their life. Like I tell a friend of mine, you know, that a lot of veterans have so much darkness brought into their life that when you work with little kids, all you bring is light. All you bring is light. And then the goal, of course, is that eventually, you know, get substantial enough funding. I want to pay these guys a little back in like $50 a class, just to cover food and gas, you know, just something. And we'll be issuing, you know, the prerequisite polo shirts with the emblem and all that stuff that they need to have. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because now that we're up and running as a 501c3 nonprofit, I want to, you know, reach out to you folks and you guys, you know, whatever you can do to help me open doors and get me in there and teach kids. I really appreciate it.
So you said you had a curriculum set up already.
Oh yeah,
And you can give us copies of that?
Yeah, I can give you the syllabus and I can give you a copy of every course.
And you would do like one class, right? You teach one class or is it
It's
like
one class. It's 7 courses, but each class pretty much lasts about, it depends on how many questions I get from the kids. But the actual material is about 35 minutes. You know, the actual material. The kids' questions,
right?
you know, we go to Wonderland sometimes, some of their questions, you know. Yeah, it's another 20 minutes.
So any way that you can get maybe I own a copy of because what we can do is we can send this. Obviously, we cannot go into the schools and tell the schools what to do. But if we reach out to intergovernmental and to the region, and we provide them for them to share with their principals, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we could do that and help them out that way.
Or, you know, one of the things we can do is, like we discussed, is it's probably with the clubs, you know, the extracurricular clubs. It'll be easier for me to get my foot in the door there because it's extracurricular. They don't have to have the curriculum approval process review that it would if it was like during the regular school hours. You know what I'm talking about?
Which will be more secondary school.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually, that was my question. So this is, what grade levels are you covering right now?
Well, it's actually ended up being kindergarten to 5th grade, but 2nd to 5th grade is really the target audience for the module classes. For kindergarten and preschool, all I'm doing is reading a book to them. The teacher picks the book and I just read it.
So for high schools, you're not set up just yet?
No, we are.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. For high school, it's mainly going to be for the clubs program because I
Okay.
don't want to necessarily walk into any high school class unless these people have a specific interest in like the UN or a specific interest in international law or international relations and stuff like that. Because, you know, one, if there is a club set up like the Law Society or the Model UN, they're going to have really, you know, they're going to be automatically,
Invested, you know.
yeah, you know, they're going to be like a captive audience. They're going to be interested.
They're gonna be interested.
They're going to be interested. You know, it's not going to somebody's going to be sitting there going, well, like, you know,
Uh-huh.
and we'll have a really good discussion. We'll have a, you know, exactly, you know, really good exchange of ideas.
But you'd be surprised, sometimes those that sit like that, sometimes they capture stuff. All of a sudden.
And listen, you know,
like,
all
wait a
I'm
second,
trying to
they
do
had
is-
this moment, you know,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
they don't talk a lot, but they do sometimes capture, and that's why. So do you have a curriculum set up for high school?
Yes,
You do,
it's
okay.
basically, I do have a syllabus for high school and I
Okay.
have the classes as well. I
Yeah,
have to break
okay.
them down.
Alright.
Because I realized when I taught that one to the chamber, it was a little overwhelming. And so I figured, okay, I have to break this one down.
Okay,
But basically what you're seeing on each one of these topics in the class that I cover. So,
So the adult is more for
High school,
Alright,
unless you got a middle school group of that club that, really has a big interest in this, I mean, I never underestimate the intelligence of children, they always question. So,
look, can you please speak in? Here it says one and it goes through, all the way down to 23.
yeah, well, because. What's a good one? I found out that this is national security structure, that each one of these little topics that I was going to talk about, being a class in its own.
Okay,
I try to teach all this to the chamber,
okay,
and the whole board, there's a lot.
Right, yeah.
And so I'm basically breaking it down now,
okay.
so each one is now like a little class, but it's all part of national security.
So it says K through second. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
really.
They hit third. I think it's supposed to be third, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
it's supposed to be
says-
K through fifth,
Okay.
so that was the title, because
Okay.
actually, as I've been teaching it, because I didn't know who would be the audience when I first started out. So I'm thinking, maybe K through second. But now as I've been teaching it, like Sunshine Elementary has second graders. My class tomorrow is gonna be composed of second graders and fifth graders. And, let me tell you, some of the second graders, they ask great questions. They get it, And so really, these classes are better tailored to second grade to fifth grade. And then for kindergarten and preschool, I really just show up, the teacher gives me a book, I'm in uniform, and, I was reading one book about dinosaurs, and all we did was roar like that. Half an hour, I'll say, what does the T-Rex say? And you're all roared, and I roared.
Little arms.
Yeah, little arms, those kind of things, it was just basically that was just what we did with the K through preschool, which was fun,
Mhm.
And they all came up, and it was funny because they all came up when I said hello and I bend down. That was my uniform. My medals go down. They all come up and they start playing with the book. And I was like a human wind chime, and they all lined up and they're like cling, 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 cling. Hilarious. And then the teacher goes back to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to share this. It's really exciting. I really enjoy it. I'm just trying to, like I said, this whole nation is all divided right now politically, and we forgot who we are and what makes us so important. And what makes us probably, like I always tell everybody, look, we won the lotto because whatever reason we are in this country, that's a winning the lotto automatically, and all the freedoms that we have. And I'm just trying to remind everybody, that, this experiment that we call American democracy is the greatest experiment that ever existed, and slowly plant those seeds, Anyway, thank you very much.
So, okay, can I get a couple more of those? So.
Yeah, take as many as you want. And we should be getting a website up and running. I have AC Graphics working on it, So it's Matthew, and Matthew is, and then also I know nothing, and he's like, well, that's not the way it works. So,
Anyway, thank you so much.
yes, so thank you, and I appreciate it. Anything you get the word out,
Yeah, it's
you got my information. On the
private schools too?
private school, especially, Sunshine Elementary is the private.
Okay.
I'm already there. We're gonna be doing tomorrow and then the whole week worth, or
Fantastic.
7 weeks worth. Thank you very much.
Some of us will be in that video, I'm sure.
All
And officer. Yes, sir.
Amador, hello everyone, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Over the Turkey Day. So I just wanted to promote this because the Citizens Pride Watch, they've had this program for a long time, RAD Women's Self-Defense. And when I first took over Juan's position, I had asked, and apparently there was no interest for this in the town. Now there is. Super happy now that it's coming. The town already set it up. December 19th through the 21st, we're gonna have the first event here in the town at Robert Alonso Community Center. It's I don't know, 8 or I don't know how many hours it is. 12 hours. 12 hours. And at the end, it's all women's self-defense. It's self-explanatory. It's anti-rape. But it's free. What I like about it is it's free self-defense classes. How much you have to pay for stuff like that. It's free. And it's like a very intense free class where they actually teach you specific techniques, and you actually get to fight with some of the guys with a bunch of pads on. Free, very important. The big thing about like your committee is that they have also a kids rad class. And it's a little bit different because it's like an after-school program, but it's meant to like empower kids. And I already spoke to Goldman because they wanted to promote it for seniors, especially senior girls, because, right, they're gonna go off to college and they want them to be somewhat prepared. They're super interested, they're gonna come in and they're gonna give them the speech. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to every elementary here in the town and talk to all the principals after that happens, so that I can tell them, look, Goldman is doing it. You might want to continue with it. But for more important for the elementary, because they want to do the kids ones, like an after school thing, and it's all free. The same, they would just stay another hour after school and get free training.
But this event itself for women over the age of 14.
This is for women,
Yeah.
for the working women, for this specific one, for adults, yeah. For,
Where would you
More
find
broad.
more information on the children's one? The website or?
the same website has the link to the children's one, yeah. Mhm. I have flyers, but the thing is, I wanted to wait for this to happen. And for Goldman to take it, that way there's more of the program here already. Because initially, when I first had talked to Juan, when I heard about it, he said, no, when I heard about it, nobody was interested, this and that, so okay. But now there's interest in one location, that might open up interest in something else. And like the elementaries can say, well, we already know that's already being implemented at a high school. Super important. The first question was, well, how do we get it into the schools? Because there's a procedure, this and that. Well, this has all been cleared through the kid one, not this one. The kid one has been completely cleared through Miami-Dade School Board. For years, down south, they have a bunch of schools where they do it. So this is just the principal saying, yeah, we want to do it.
So this would, this could be done like after school, like an
It's an
after school
after-
program
It's an
that's
after-school
free.
program, 1 hour a week, yes.
Oh, okay.
And free, and they would stay like, one after.
Yeah, our
school
school
program.
already has one on Mondays, which is like reading squad, so they stay for an hour for reading.
Uh,
So that
Something like
would be
that.
something good, yeah.
Something like that, correct, yeah.
Is the town sharing this already or?
I believe they were sending it out to all the.
Yeah,
that's
already been provided to. Do the schools all know about it?
No, not the schools, because, I
Because
mean,
if it's already been approved, then they don't really, there's no red tape past that because it's already been approved.
that's my understanding, correct, there's no, okay, it's just the school wanting the
Mhm.
information and getting that involved.
Just get it revived.
Yeah, because this is obviously not the school one, but the other one's for children.
Mhm.
There's a certain grade level that they I think it's third graders. I'm not too versed on the program, but I think it's third graders.
Right, probably like the upper.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And it's also the Citizens Crime Watch, in Miami-Dade,
Citizens Crime
not
Watch, yeah.
the town of Miami-Dade, right?
No, what happened was they came and they partnered up with the town to be able, because this is what they needed was this, they needed a location that the town could provide, or a town or a city could provide, because it is all nonprofit and all that, so they're not gonna pay.
Mhm.
But again, somebody took interest, I don't know who in the town, and they said, yeah, let's do it, so it was great, they did it.
Trying to pass information along to our schools.
And how am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
I know I can talk to my principal, it's approved.
They said it's super.
Right.
We don't have to,
Right, we don't have to go through into
Yeah,
the government.
I don't think we need to clear anything, it's already cleared. Now, I'm sure they're gonna consult with the region and,
Right,
but that's up to each administrator. Yeah.
If I may, since, I don't know, I'm sorry, you done?
Yeah,
Since, we're talking to Officer Amador now, just want to bring something else up. I think for those of us that work within the school system, we know that they are now using, different code words, okay? For threats at the school, okay? I just want to make sure that there has been conversation between school board police and, our local police department, and that everybody knows that these new words are being used. Just to avoid any confusion, I'm sure there has been conversation. Doesn't hurt to double check, okay? And obviously what I'm referring to is this, okay? these are the new codes that are being used. Lockdown now, doesn't, before, when we used to use the code red, it was a lockdown, even if it was just like an imminent threat. Now the new word is secure. But I just want to make sure that both police departments have had that conversation and that everybody understands the new terminology that's being used, just to avoid any confusion in the future in the event of an actual emergency. So, don't know what needs to be done in order to make that happen, but I think we should just, double check that everybody's on the same page rather than assume
Let's ask
that
him.
everybody's on the same page.
Let's ask him
Are
if
you aware
you
that
guys
the
have
code
agreed
red-
with any of the code words.
We were talking about.
Oh, okay.
No, and that's and it's a big thing because the first thing that's gonna happen is not necessarily at the school, but something happens next to the school, and I'll put Bob Graham because I'm always there at Bob Graham. Something happens in Royal Oaks, somebody's gonna get on and say, listen, advise school board, they need to put the school on lockdown. If now lockdown means there's something happening at the school, then they're gonna take it as, oh my God, there's something happening at the school. But lockdown has always been, there's something going on, we're just precautionary, as a precautionary, we're gonna lock down the school. Now would be something like.
Now it's
secure the
secure,
school.
so you could have something happening, obviously, it could be in front of the school, but it's not on school property, but at least the school and the people, the staff are aware of this, but, somebody calls for a lockdown. Lockdown may mean something's happening over here, lockdown for us now means there's an imminent threat on property.
Right.
So automatically, the reactions are gonna be different, the procedures that are put into place are different. So I think it's important that we ensure
Can you
that there's communication.
share that maybe with Io, and Io, would you be able to send it to the
I can
town
hear you.
mayor? I mean,
So security, Cogello, depending on the city.
Yeah, we can kind of look at it. But yeah, I'll send it to you. But yeah, but this is the new terminology that is now being used, okay? There's even one here that, shelter, for example, that one, when you look at the hazards, they talk about tornadoes, a hazmat situation, an earthquake or a tsunami. So obviously, these are terms that are used, nationwide. Tsunami, if, we have the threat of a tsunami, then say your prayers because we're gone. Okay, that means it's a major tsunami, all right? Earthquake, maybe we can talk about the blasting, that could be an earthquake. Anyway, but you start looking at the different terms, the one that's really important that we all need to make sure that everybody understands is the word lockdown. Lockdown means an imminent threat on property, on school property. So the actions, are different than that of a secure. So, I'll send it to Isle, but I just want to make sure that there's a conversation that takes place between both of, the police departments to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that we don't, God forbid something does happen and then we have, some confusion, okay?
The
The school police department, I'm sure.
Okay.
has-
School police, listen, everybody was trained on that. The whole school district had to be trained, it was mandatory to be trained. Doesn't mean
But
that
not-
the
not
town
the
will
way
all
it
be
was.
late.
Yeah.
Right,
and the
I just don't
problem
want
is-
to assume that they know. If they know, yay, then you know what, this is just double information,
I think it's great.
no harm, but it's important
we can
for
share it
everybody
out.
to just make sure that we're all on the same page.
And at some point, one of us might say, hey, put the school on lockdown. When school board is advised, they go, okay, what's the situation? Oh, okay, so they'll tell administration, look, it's gonna be a secure, and they won't call it a lockdown. But at some point, we all wanna be on the same page with the terminology.
Exactly. You don't do this thing?
I've never seen it. We just call it Cogello.
Oh, we did it for this year.
Yeah, that's brand new.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, it is brand new, yeah, maybe. we should run the training on this one.
So hold is what? Hold
I'll send it
is
to
just.
you. If you want to take a picture.
Yeah.
Is that on the, Miami-Dade?
It's on the portal.
No, this one is not.
I'm not sure that's.
Yeah, because eventually.
Miami-Dade.
Terminology.
No, but I'm sure that the Miami-Dade School Police is,
Thank you.
they're new, I remember before, when I was chair, we did a tour with the schools with their chief of police and he explained,
But the fact that school police are weird, and I know they are, I'm sure they collaborate
and they explained their new procedures after,
But a secure
the
means like.
school,
you
that
still
they had
teach
outbreaks,
classes?
when they're
Searching
secure, that means that.
how to
there's
secure the
something
building
going
and
on.
all that.
Yeah.
Way to change that.
In high school, you still.
No, at that point with the secure, you can, it depends on where you're switching, okay, but no. You should, what you should do is just keep the kids inside, you teach
Mhm.
like normal, in the event they have to update it because. Again, God forbid, the
Right,
threat
right.
that moves on
Right,
to
it's-
school.
And so
property,
you're prepared for.
then,
program.
yeah, all you know is, guess what, yes, there's activity going on.
Yeah.
And we're mindful of it, everyone's mindful of it, but just know there is police activity, which could be, by the way, a number of things.
Mhm.
You know, so it could be something as simple as a domestic dispute that's
Sure.
going on in a parking lot. It doesn't mean that it's an imminent threat to us, but hey, FYI, there is something going on, adjacent to the property or somewhere close to to school board property. I'm gonna send this to you now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.
Mhm.
All right, so moving on, no other public comments? So we're moving on to the approval of minutes for the September 28th meeting. I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but if you didn't, please take a second.
When you have a chance, just let me know if you received it.
Motion to approve the minutes of September 28th.
If you all have a chance to
Second.
review it. Anybody needs any more time to read it? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, go. Moving on, any staff updates?
If I could turn your attention to the attachments of the agenda package, just note that there is an updated budget for you guys to review, and those are the invoices you requested for the Dolly Park and Imagination Library. That also gives you the count of what's being mailed. If you look at the top, there is a date of October 1st or November 1st. Those are the two invoices for the latest months. And Claudia received your.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any questions regarding the invoices or the budget?
Through the chair, so I see this is, how much is, it's $4,000 that's budgeted for the Imagination Library, is that correct? I guess that's what I'm seeing, right? So I guess my question is, if these are all monthly invoices, and it's like around $400 a month times 12, that puts us over that. So what happens when there's a point when when Dollywood Foundation is invoicing us and there's no more left in the budget?
So, at this current year, you guys will not be at an overage because you guys have a credit that is being, so if you look at the invoices at the bottom, it says payment / credit, that's why it's a negative. It's because we have a credit, it was underutilized in previous years, but it was charged.
So,
So for right now, you guys are good.
Because the town pays them annually, I assume.
No, we pay monthly.
Okay.
But, I mean, sorry, yes, the town cuts it, $4,000, but it's expense on your budget. You'll see it, as it's being charged.
But we pay them upfront.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, but as of right now, you guys are good because of that payment,
right, they already,
because of that credit, I'm
they already
sorry.
have the money.
So you will not be going over for those. I can check what's the latest and send you guys an email on what's the latest.
Cause we're
in
still
terms of the
pulling from that credit.
As of when we discussed it last time, yes, I don't know if right now, but
So
I'll check for you.
going back to Maurice's question, so what happens when the credit is done
Right.
and we go over?
That's it, there's no more Dollywood for that year.
No, because the credit isn't from this year. I think
No,
you
I
guys
get it.
were initially was being pulled from the other one, I
Right,
have to
but-
check if it's now it's being here.
Right, but he's asking like once it exhausts, once there's no credit.
Right, so I have to check with them because I don't know, I don't have the answer to that right now.
I'm sure we don't
Yeah,
go
This
for
will be
five.
over.
Well, we
like
have to make sure that
$100.
you guys aren't going.
And
over your
also, I guess the other question would be, if this is still credit being pulled from last year, then we're gonna have leftover money this year. Where does that money go?
I have to check when that credit either ran out or if it's currently being pulled from that credit. Yeah, I know that as of maybe 2-3 months ago when we talked about it, it was still being pulled. I don't know if today it's still being
So
pulled from that.
if,
credit.
if it's still being pulled from that credit and now it's gonna transition to this year's credit. By October, there's a chance that there's still funds left that this board could potentially transfer to other line items. Is that correct?
I don't believe so, because like how you explained, we paid a lump sum.
Right, so it's already been paid.
It's already
Yeah.
paid.
Got it.
Like
So,
accounting has already paid
Paid
for the
for
$4,000,
$4,000.
they just go expensing it per
Got
month. For
Okay.
purposes of keeping track of it.
So follow-up question, I'm sorry, no?
Yes, through the chair, I was gonna say, do you know how much we spent last year
In terms of
In
calendar
calendar?
year or fiscal year?
in terms of fiscal?
I can pull up the latest, the old budget. Yeah.
No, not the budget, how much it was actually spent.
Right, because we all
You see
usually.
the
What I can do is pull the invoices. I don't know right now. I
And
can't
we
tell
got
you
it.
So
right now,
that means
but
we
yeah.
might have a
but I-
credit next fiscal year as well.
right, so then we're gonna decide where they're gonna keep on having our money, but there's no point in that.
Right, so I think we have to figure out what we spent in that.
And then lower our budget.
Lower our
maybe
budget
not-
to it.
I don't know, maybe allocate it to the other thing.
Through the chair, isn't the public library offers, same programs like this?
They do it, they don't get a free book. Yeah. They get free books, yes, they do. Imagination Library?
No,
What is it called?
public library.
But what is it called? Do you know?
I don't know the name, but we spoke to the lady who runs the program for the public library here in Miami Lakes. They have a new program that you do an e-library card. The parent does it for the child. They choose the books, whatever books they want, and they mail it home with no cost.
But they have to return the books.
They have to return it,
You
but
return
you
it.
can return it.
If
you
can't
return, they send you a label.
to
Exactly,
return yourself.
and you don't have to.
No, no, yeah, but you
but
can't
you
use
don't
the book
keep
to
it,
make your
yeah.
own library. Like, this is like for the kids to make their own
Mhm.
little library at home, like to buy the books and keep them there.
Yeah,
Right,
But the
but
librate doesn't, the library has to return them back.
it's like a
Correct.
checkout
Right,
system,
so it's
just,
checkout,
yeah.
so it's a
But-
checkout
So
system.
that's the difference.
That's
Correct.
different. These, they
Correct.
get to keep the hard covers.
correct,
They have to
but,
return.
and it's a great idea, I think both work perfectly, but
Right.
if we're spending so much money. Doing, maybe we can, figure out a way of working with directly the public library and give a choice of. Since not everybody wants to keep the book,
Mhm,
maybe we can look at the numbers like Claudia said and how much we're spending,
mhm.
and maybe.
Another time you read the book, you read the book to the kids once and.
Seems to me like. Five at the highest school.
Parents are overwhelmed with the amount of books. Like for example, I did it, and my house now is full of books, of children's books that my kids grew up. So what do we do now? We donate them,
Right,
but a lot of the parents don't wanna keep the book, so you have this other option. So if we are, maybe we gotta go back and visit the numbers and see how much we're really spending and maybe.
I mean, through the chair, the numbers are not bad, 196 books every month, that's
Yeah.
good, that's 196 people, right?
Right,
Because everybody gets one book a month.
but perhaps we should be able to market the library's programs
No,
better
sure.
and reduce
Because
those
we're
numbers.
already giving them money and everything.
Right. No, what I'm saying is that the numbers are a lot better than I expected. I didn't know that this many people actually use the program. 196 every single month, that.
But that number fluctuates.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
194, 196.
Right.
yeah.
So let me ask this other questions. Being that this is all a credit and it shows here as a credit, why is it hitting our budget as an actual?
So the $4,000 from the town have already gone to them. The problem is that the way accounting works, they have to expense it as it goes. And that's the reason for that, is what's been explained to me.
So basically the money's already sent aside, we just paid monthly.
They go chipping away at your budget to make sure it's reflected.
Okay, so you haven't
When
sent
it-
the money to the Imagination Library.
They already
Yes,
have
they
it.
already
It's
have
set
it.
lump sum,
Yes.
So
That's what
so the
they're
town doesn't have the money in an account. It's
Correct,
for-
they just go
budget.
moving it from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
They're like, this month we use this much, take it out. This month we use it, take it.
So the money is in the town.
No,
No, the money's with.
The money's
Dolly
with the
Parton.
Right, that's what I thought. So then they're not taking it out. They're just
They're-
sending us the invoice of what they're
Yeah.
using per month.
but you'll
They're
see,
telling us how much we have left.
Exactly.
And that's why everything shows like credit. That's a-
Yeah,
alright, so this fiscal year, we
that's
have
what I
spent
understood, okay.
$847 since October.
When this was printed,
Which is when-
Which is,
It's two invoices.
11, 14.
November 14th. The invoices, are generated monthly, the first of every.
Okay,
So
so,
now in December.
so as of right now, we spent $847. Until now in December, it's gonna be
Another
more.
400.
Whatever it is, yeah.
But if you look at all, how much is the total credit that we do
And if
have?
we're still currently.
Yeah, it looks like it's fluctuating in the 400s.
Because kids come in and
Right, but the numbers didn't change in the past 2 months much.
Yeah. But if we're averaging, so what's our average more or less, like 400 bucks, that we're looking at a
Yeah.
month? That's 4,800 bucks.
Mhm.
So we're establishing, yeah, only 4,000. So how, I guess it's not all being utilized.
Oh, okay.
How much of a credit do we have?
I don't know right now. They-
Yeah, so they must have had leftover, a lot leftover last.
But
year.
this was from, not even from last year, I think this is from like.
So we need to know how much they have, right?
So this
So we know how much they have.
3152 doesn't.
Which they had, so we only.
What we have left right now in this year, but technically we don't have it because it's already complete.
So the town, because you guys were getting $4,000 every year for the last 2 or
Mhm.
however many years, that money
So-
has been sent to Dolly Park.
Right,
It's
so
just
we
going
just
to
said that.
spending it.
Right,
Yeah,
so we
so we
wanna
just
know.
need to find out how much the credit.
Correct, so you guys wanna know if we're still pulling from credit or
Or we're pulling
now
from
we're
4,000.
already.
We should figure out how much Dolly Parton has in totality,
Uh-huh.
whether it's from this year or
Yes,
the other year.
everything in
Yeah,
general, we already
how
said the
much they have.
4,000 plus whatever was
Yeah,
already there.
whatever we get next month, we can just deduct when we get an invoice from, you know, and then go. from
Because
there.
they already have the money for this fiscal.
Yes, but we
Yes,
can know
we
what
wanna
the
know how
credit,
much
we
they
wanna
have.
know how much credit we have.
Before, plus whatever.
Plus whatever,
Credit
exactly.
they supposedly had there. Nobody knows.
Exactly.
It doesn't benefit us to keep on sending $4,000 and then we're not utilizing. it.
Extra money.
We've been discussing this for a long time.
so every year we have an $800
Well, we have
shortage.
invoices
that's
now.
going to like credit.
Actual invoice.
We just try to
So-
determine when that
It's
credit's
there.
gonna end.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna send us that, what, how much the total credit, you're gonna
I
research
will
it?
talk to them. They have the number because they've given it to me before when we first talked about it. I just don't know what it's currently at, so I have to talk to them.
And you're just gonna email it to us?
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you. Going on to old business, oh, actually, student member updates.
Yes.
Mr. Moritz.
It's been a while since we've last met, but on October 3rd.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds right. October 3rd, we had the student meeting here, in the town chambers. It was a very successful event. We had all schools represented except for
Very late.
Our Lady of the Lakes, but each school sent 2, 3, some even sent 4, student leaders to represent their schools. Goldman Tech, HML, the middle school, the 2 K8s, everybody sent someone, and we had the chamber set up. You know, like a big oval, like a U, and all the students were sitting around, and we just went school by school, hearing what's going on, what their concerns are. Mario and Hector were there as well, so if you guys have anything you wanna add on, but overall, it was a very successful event. For us to kind of introduce, myself as a student member, but also our board to the students. And they were just kind of talking about what initiatives are going on at their school that the EAB could potentially help with, whether directly or indirectly through our connections, or, you know, there's lots of projects going on at all the schools. For example, Miami Lakes Middle School is trying to start up their culinary program, but they don't have any kitchen supplies. So that's maybe something, some partnership that can be built maybe with Tech, where the middle school and the high school kind of exchange. Tech has an amazing culinary program, and the middle school is just starting up. What else? I mean, so much. Barbara Goldman's trying to start up a medical program, and they don't have supplies for that either. There was one school that needed science supplies, like to do labs, and they said.
I like the Miami Lakes Education Center.
Okay, so.
I know HML.
We have a list somewhere of all the concerns, but, that's definitely, you know, something good, and I think it's, a meeting we could do again all the way at the end of the year, kind of as an end of the year reflection. But I think all the students spoke up, they were very eloquent, and it's just a good way for us to hear what they're saying. And get that student perspective on everything. Hector, Mario, anything you wanna add on?
No, I mean, so what most of the things that they ask for is not something that we directly can help them with. I mean, we don't have budgets to do all these things. It was just about getting those connections, right? So like, I know at Goldman, I went back and I spoke to the class officer that came, to the girl that runs the program, to the sponsor. You know, it's funny ironically, because Jackie Becker used to be in our committee, so I called her, I know she's the medical field. And she's trying to connect some doctors to come out and do, you know, presentations or, you know, some people from the medical field.
You can also have them send to, the board member, Alonso. He's on the board for, he's a trustee for Miami-Dade College. They
Right.
have a nursing program. They also have a culinary program. And I know the Miami-Dade College is working hand in hand with a lot of, high schools. So you might wanna send them something, and I'm positive that they will work with the schools to give them what they need for medical and for culinary.
Okay.
I'm almost positive that they would help
We have that foundation, the balance,
the, Miami-Dade College.
yeah, the. Ideas and they're always looking for things to help out.
No, I know that Miami-Dade College has been very involved with the schools.
That's something we can actually
Yeah, we can.
So-
try to connect them.
They might want to go in and help and provide things so that they can work hand in hand with them.
Yeah, that sounds good, we'll do that.
To the chair, what's the process for, if you know, there is some local, companies within the town that might be willing to help. How do we make those connections, like the Restaurant Depot, there's that new, clinic, I think it's Nova or Novida. They were really generous with the, Mayor's Gallus.
Univida.
Univida, correct, Univida. So
So
we're
I know
happy
in the
we can
past,
make those
in
connections.
the past, we had date partners, like schools had date partners, like they partner with local businesses. I mean, we have to inquire through the region or through the governmental.
So that
See
was called
procedures
Day
and
Partners.
date partners. But we'd have to find out if anything procedurally has changed in the last few years. Anything else, Moritz?
No, it was a good meeting, we'll keep up that contact with the students on a regular basis.
It was very good. We did have 19 students attend. So, and all the parents were dying or standing outside, wanting to hear what their kids were saying. So it was a good event. It was a good event. So on to old business, a digital school flyer project. I know when the principals were here last, we discussed it. If I am not mistaken, I believe I understood Mr. Torres say that by November, we would have the information. Do we have anything from any students?
For what exactly?
We were gonna try to do the digital school flyer. That we put information about the school.
We've received for maybe 2 schools, I have to find out, but I don't have it for all schools, no.
How do we get
They need
that?
to be reminded.
Yeah, is that what we're into?
Yeah.
So we, yeah, but the government already has reached out to the
Yeah,
region. I know they're aware.
So,
And by the way,
Yeah, they're aware because some schools have already sent it.
and we were here last,
Did you get it
I'd
ready?
have to figure it out, so I think.
we brought it up in front of the principals at the last meeting.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
And if the governmental was there and the region was there, they said by the month of November, you
Mhm.
will have all the data you need. We just want to make sure.
Through the chair, are we gonna include other organizations like Mindset Connect on these digital flyer or not?
So I believe the intent is just to showcase our schools, not organizations. So I think
Right,
we should stay
the-
to just the
The
school.
schools that the town
It
had.
doesn't have to be just public. I'm okay with OLL if they want to submit
Well,
something.
whoever submits,
but
if they don't submit
they
by
are
a
the-
deadline, then they're not
The
gonna be in
the problem with
flyer.
OLL is that they never come to our meetings. I know they've been invited,
They've
right?
been invited.
Every month, you know, every time the principals come, we invite them. I don't think they've ever come and,
Name one. One.
yeah, I believe one time many years
Came
ago.
one
No,
time. For some,
So,
The first, yeah.
so as a board, we've made an attempt to reach out to them to create a relationship with them and
But we have some Montessori schools too. Or is it just, there are Montessori schools that don't, isn't it? Or it's not a school, it's preschool.
You have 2 over there, but one
Is it a
is
big school?
renovating.
yeah, the one by there next to the middle school, they're doing a lot of it.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's even open. The building,
No,
a
it's not open.
Oh, they,
lot of construction going on.
Right,
Right, so if you can get that and you can let me know, I can follow up with the region or the district
Yeah.
on that or.
yeah, and whoever hasn't sent it in, maybe send reminders to the schools that haven't sent it in.
I'll double check, but what I see right now, HML submitted. Planning K through H. Goldman. and program. So we're missing.
And you send us those so we can see what they look like.
Miami Lakes is not submitted.
This is that person shows
Yeah,
me.
she thinks I'm next.
Goldman, Miami Lakes K-8, and HMO.
So whatever you do have is, if you can forward to them.
Missing.
So it's in.
Maybe it's little.
But it's funny, 'cause that principal showed me what she was gonna say.
So it's middle.
Yeah, it sure, I see it every day.
Exactly.
And Lady Lacy.
I'll share this with you guys.
Okay, so it's only for the.
So committee chair report, obviously, we did have a meeting last month, so we had our committee chair meeting. There's nothing major to report other than the fact that the committee seemed to be quite unhappy with the way some people, again, are not showing up to their meetings or to their events. I know you were there. Some were complaining about the fact that we can only do our committee reports twice a year at certain set dates. I know the town manager said he would look into it, or there might be some things if we submitted something.
Well, he talked about budget, so that's anything, as you guys know, anything over 700 has to go to council. So to not lose that opportunity, if it's coming up and you guys don't report for another 4 or 5 months, just let me know. And he can do it under his manager's report and pretty much make the request for you guys. If it's something simple like that, he can do it. And then the other thing that came out of that is the schedule may not work according to what you guys are trying to do. So let me know what months you guys would prefer to do your reporting and we'll adjust accordingly. But I do need to know, so I'm glad you brought it up.
So we're done for this year, though.
Yeah, for this year, you guys.
Through the chair,
So
right?
it's more for the new year.
The understanding was also if there was another committee that's presenting that week and you needed to present, and that committee didn't need to present, you could switch with that committee.
So we still have to go to our liaison.
Yeah, so the only thing with that is that although that's correct, don't take it as
As
a week before, that means that you're gonna be, because I still need the memo, the report, and I still need to adhere to the agenda for that night. So it needs to be.
So for instance, we need to present next month, we could ask Al, hey, can we switch with whatever committees next month and then see if that's possible.
So you guys need to let me know what dates or what months you'd like to report. And because we're creating the calendar for the meeting.
As of now, we don't have any new events posted on it.
Yeah, how do you?
You don't have any new events for the calendar.
Exactly.
Well, some people know based on how the year has gone this year. So there are certain events, for example, if you guys know that you're gonna be asking for additional funds or if you're planning an event, which you should be planning in advance,
Sorry,
then you
what's
request
our
it.
The main,
You're gonna need it in advance.
Okay.
yeah, it's always the main.
Present now is in May.
No,
No,
I
no,
mean.
no.
our
We're
event
still
is-
building out the
Our
calendar,
event
for
is
so
May.
let me know.
So I say maybe we should go up in March at some point.
Mhm.
and
How many
then
times do they have to?
Twice a year.
You guys have to go up twice a year.
So maybe March, October, after the school year starts, so we can have a chance to speak to the principals and.
So
Yeah,
March
like
and
March
March.
and March.
It's October, the fiscal year is already reset, so if there's any last minute.
Well, but if you need money up to $700, we can just go straight to them.
Okay.
And the worst case scenario is an emergency, as long as we request with anticipation, we could try to switch.
So March and October.
I mean, if possible, if not, listen, whatever,
Yeah.
we do what we gotta do. So HC is the alternate seal recognition. Obviously, you guys know that we had our submissions and we actually brought up Mario. Thank you so much for blowing it up. I know it's very pricey. I think I owe you money.
I thought the schools was gonna go there.
So Miami Lakes Education Center did blow it up, but
But they won't in a piece
It's
of
like
paper.
paper
Yeah.
rolls, right?
sturdy.
So we thought about go.
Framing it
Framing
was
it.
a little bit more expensive than putting
So
it
we
on
need
the boards, yeah.
They
So
put it
it's-
on like phones.
So it was very nice because both the person who submitted the art and the young man that came in front of us to ask for the event were there, and they both said a couple of words about it,
And the council signed it as well.
right? So the one that Miami Lakes Education Center provided us, we gave it to the kid who brought up the event, the idea, right? The
Okay.
sponsor of the event. And the actual art, we had all the council members sign it
Right,
and we gave it to the
We gave
student
it
who
to-
created.
okay.
So it was very nice.
Which I have to say that, that council meeting, they did a lot of, different presentations. And all of them were posted on social media except for ours. So the young man was never, recognized on social media. By the town.
Good young man that did his presentation was very well.
Very beautiful, yeah, very nice.
We're on social media,
On the town's page,
Facebook,
yes,
Instagram, do they use it?
they do.
Yeah.
Everybody else was recognized, everyone was posted except for that young man.
And why was that? Were you, was it last, was it front? I was
Talk to me.
not. I
No,
wasn't here.
I think we went second after
Yeah.
the veterans.
I mean, they could have just at least posted the young man, you can forget about our committee, but, you know, not even that. It's very sad.
I don't see anything here.
No, no.
No, I don't have any. All I see is November 2nd,
No, go up, go
November
up,
9th.
November, go to November 14, the 14th.
There's nothing else. Post.
So, I mean, I have no control what the town does. All
December
those things, it
15th.
would have been nice, I agree, but
It would have been great, I mean,
I just think we need to recognize.
especially, you gotta give them at least that acknowledgement and post it.
So then
And
post
they
it
did.
out.
They do.
It hasn't been.
They posted
long.
everybody else, you know, every other event, everyone who's recognized, except for that young man.
So I'll be at the still December meeting, can we post that?
Yes.
I can't tell you yes, because I don't control social media, but I'll bring up the
So
concerns,
who controls social media?
the communications team, but not me.
Mhm.
So that's Clarence.
So that's between Carousel and Jacob, I mean, and Jonathan. So.
But you.
Yeah, I'll let them know. I'll let them know the feedback from the.
Okay,
So we're done watching pictures.
no, because I'm trying to.
New business. Let's go, guys. Third annual Awards of Excellence. Last month, we tried to come up with a date. We said we wanted to get feedback from our schools. I've reached out to the schools. They did not do anything, and obviously, since we knew nothing was gonna come up, we reached out to the schools directly. And we do have some dates. It seems like the month of May is really bad.
It's always been that.
So Mr. Fernandez at Miami Lakes Education Center said that their prom was April 26th. Their NHS induction is the 16th of April. And they have a senior awards night on the 21st. And again, guys, I just think we need to start coming up. 21st of May. The other two were April dates.
So we have the 24th, when you wanna do it on
We
a
do
Friday
April
or
or
a
May?
Thursday?
I'll probably will do that.
Are we doing May?
We always do May,
Right?
On Friday.
on Friday.
So the
If
24th?
you do it on a Friday, you risk that there's
The
conflict.
problem
If you do it on a Wednesday, there's never gonna be a conflict.
The problem is that on Fridays works best for a lot of us that are volunteering to do the events. A lot of the times, we don't have enough people helping, because it's a Thursday, people work, you get off late with the thing. Fridays is a little bit
More flexible.
much more. Those.
So I know that May 11th, it's when we start putting this, so we will go. May 11th.
Saturday,
Goldman has the prom.
so that's a Saturday, so May
The
10th,
15th and the 17th, they have an aftercare show.
the 15th,
And the 17th with the town.
that's 17th, so
Oh.
15th to Wednesday, 17th to Friday.
Right, I know what you're talking about. It's the dance.
24th at the November Friday.
The 16th of May, they have the honors dinner.
That's a Thursday,
They have a tentative graduation date of May 29th,
that's, oh no, that's Wednesday, the following, 24th looks like a great day.
but that's right before a holiday.
May 17th.
Yeah, some people are out. the whole week.
Yes, that's the town's aftercare show.
Okay,
What about the
Town's
10th?
aftercare
What's
show.
going on with the 10th?
the town's aftercare show.
No, the towns, the, you know, the little dance, the dance, who dance at Mary Collins?
Yeah,
They have their end of the year show at Goldman, at Goldman.
Oh, at Goldman.
Oh, that's
That
not
has
about
nothing to do with us.
students. Yeah, but what about May 10th?
but then you're
That's
gonna have,
right.
All right, now May 10th. Think-
And May 10th too.
I know Miami Lakes State has an eighth grade graduation on the 29th. Ernest Graham on the 4th, Bob Graham on the 5th.
Either the 10th or 17th.
The 17th doesn't look too bad.
the 10th, ask for 2 days.
10 and 17.
So can
It
anybody?
sounds
have
like
anything
after the
different?
10th, everything is.
Did you say Ernest Graham?
Well, they're just doing the events that they would have at their school. Ernest Graham
Oh,
did
I
not impact
see,
us.
okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Ernest Graham does not impact us at all. It will be the 2K8s.
But this is because we're focusing on Robert Alonso Center, right?
No, these are just dates that. things going on.
Right, but what I meant to say is, are we still focusing on doing the events
I
at
think
the
so.
Robert Alonso Center?
Where else? can we-
Compared to,
There's nowhere else to do it.
well,
Mary Collins?
no, airport's a lot smaller, I think, than.
No, it's big.
Mary,
You can open the whole thing.
it's not as
Fit-
much.
What I'm saying is
Do you
because
think
we're trying to avoid the whole
Soccer.
soccer
Hmm.
issue and the AC.
Well, I will say
The
this.
AC has
Hasn't
not
been-
been working.
has not been
and
No,
it
no,
will-
no, no, let me correct you on that.
Go ahead.
So we had a training in October,
Mhm,
and we had about 300 people there,
mhm.
and we were all freezing.
So they fixed AC.
They fixed whatever
And
they
that's
did,
over.
whatever they
Did
did at the end of
did they
October.
hire-
I know they fixed it
No, they had
because the
changed the
B9
part.
meeting there now as well, and they
So
wouldn't meet their deadlines.
We were freezing. Now, we have problems with the basketball. That's a whole different story. But it wasn't
I
the
don't-
AC.
Do you know if they really fixed the AC at the?
I don't know.
Robert
what
Alonso.
AC is there. I have
We
no
don't.
idea.
Have no idea.
We can ask.
Because remember, we have been growing, and you think that Mary Collins is bigger than Ray Collins?
Mary Collins were perfectly fine.
It's not about big, okay, fit more people.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
we have been growing.
Capacity, there's more.
Absolutely, there you have enough space there. If you open the whole space, you have it. But again, we've done, well, when I was in the YMCA, posted a whole bunch of events there. Back then, with over 300 kids in there. Doing different, all kinds of activities.
But not
We
to,
did a lot in the darkness, we did a.
I think it fits. I just think like our awards is, I think the look, like our awards is like, it's like an awards.
And I agree with you, and that's why we wanted to host it at the Shooters, but unfortunately, we don't have the $5,000 that we asked council for.
That's
That's
the
the fun one.
expensive, and they don't like giving
I
anything.
mean, should have would have been
And the
ideal.
other problem is that because of the fact that, the sponsors are not being given the recognition or credit or, you know, they're not showcasing them on social media either. A lot of these sponsors are not wanting to do events with the town. So it's kind of hard. You gotta work with what you have.
So. That and seven, so can we just go back and see if any of those 2 days are
Yeah, I
available?
already have it done. I've already requested it, so when they'll
They
let
can
me
check
know if
either
it's
side and maybe next time we meet, we can.
But-
do-
for Roberto Alonso.
You can check both sides because
Okay.
just in case the soccer, I remember there was 1 year. Was it
We got the
last year that
soccer
they had to
one.
cancel?
No, that
something?
was the previous.
Yeah, we did
But was
kick,
there a problem with parking last year? 'Cause I don't know.
there wasn't that.
No, but there was 1 year with soccer, they had to cancel.
Right, but
it.
last year I don't remember.
This year was fine, the soccer.
Yeah,
was-
so this year.
The problem with last year, we had
It was
the
a year
storm also.
Just
remember?
called Alvin to
Yeah,
me.
we have the storm.
Because last year.
So Target was a little optimistic. That's it.
The parks were flooded last year.
The year before.
No, last year, remember it was raining like
Oh,
crazy.
yes, last year.
And they still came.
And everybody came and we thought it was gonna be a stormy night and it got better, but they had rain
Yeah,
clouds
yeah,
and
Like, it's
everything.
not over with.
So, all right,
Right
so
after.
you
that.
submitted that. I don't think there's a need to make any motions on that because we have a date.
They have to
Spot
rent
is out there.
this whole thing of like an AC that they stuck through the windows. Like,
It was just blown out.
like an weird.
Well, then it was like, I felt like it
Yeah.
was sweat, you know, sticky,
Yeah, definitely.
scrunched together.
Okay, I'm just trying to,
Right?
trying to stay ahead of the game. And because we have had issues in the past, I know we always partner with a Miami, with a grant companies for the scholarships.
When we sent out an email, I think we got 3 last year, right?
2.
2, and they.
So we have
Each of the
requested
amounts.
3 for 1,000 each, they gave us 2 for 50. I mean, the value was the same.
I know, they were just like 3 for 1,000.
We sent out
But
an
again-
email asking her if we could do 3 of 1,000 each, or do you guys want to leave with that too?
What do you guys think?
Sorry, what's the question?
250.
The two at how much?
It's 2 at 1,500 each.
So they always used to give us 2 at $1,000.
Right.
Last year, we requested 3 scholarships. So it'll be 3,000. They gave us a 3,000, but it was their prerogative,
But
right?
they also
They-
gave money that they sponsored the event.
Right,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
but they only gave us 2
They
for
also gave
1,500.
extra money to sponsor the event.
Okay, hold on, let me capture him and then I'll capture you.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you say after?
So know that at the end, what they came back to us is to do 2 scholarships at 1,500. So
Okay,
they gave us the amount of money that we requested from them.
but
well,
they
that
just
is
decided
not-
to increase the amount.
Right, instead of doing an extra one, to do 2. I mean, we could send a letter again, but ultimately, listen, They're partnering up with us.
And David, I'm sorry, what did you say?
And they also gave a check to sponsor the event.
Who did,
Besides the
the
grant.
Rams, okay. I mean, if that, I agree, if it's their prerogative that they wanted to do too, they are the ones that are
Right.
donating the monies, they're the ones that get to
Yeah.
select, they're part of that process, it is what it is. If
Yeah.
not, there would be no scholarships.
Right.
So, we do have to, I think, acquiesce whatever their requests are. At the end of the day, it's going to help somebody, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
So I want to believe that, look, we put in the request once, they know what we wanted.
And then
And we should just, I think I'm grateful with what they're doing and we should stick to that. If they're willing to give us $1,500 for 2 kids.
Mhm.
Understand? Anybody has a different opinion on it and
No, if she would mind, like personally. I mean,
you can have it. I have a problem with you asking, whatever they're willing to
Yeah.
do.
doesn't hurt,
But,
right?
but we do need to reach out to them. Because we
Yeah,
need
just to
start
make
the
sure that
process
it's
early.
still, yeah.
Yeah, we need to start the process early, whether it's in January, February, send out the.
Do we want to set a date that we're gonna send out the application?
But we need to get confirmation from them first, I
First,
think.
okay.
So come our next meeting, we probably could.
It's already in December starting.
We,
it's already
last year, we didn't wait on, like, we just talked about it the one time, it was asked and they approved it and we launched it in January.
But at this point, we're gonna go ask. That's why we're asking you to go ask.
Yeah, right, but as
So-
soon as we get that. you
Right, in
guys are
January, we can
okay, you
approve
wanna
it.
launch it.
Right. But we need to get confirmation they're actually
Yeah.
gonna sponsor it again and
Yeah, I just wanted to be understood that we go through with it in January if they tell us.
absolutely.
Okay.
Would, your marketing communications department be able to send us, you send us like emails, like an email to all committee members? Would they be able to send us out what they're going to be posting beforehand?
What the post is gonna, like the drop.
Yeah.
Right, like for us, I mean, it is. an
We
EAB
wanted to change,
event.
we wanted to change
Yeah.
some of the,
We Want
Yeah.
to see it before it's actually posted.
like, we wanted a minimum of words on the
No, I just
Paragraph
want to see
form,
the
not
post before
just
it's
which
actually put
student.
out
So I
there.
guess
No,
here's
no.
the question,
That's what we.
is the scholarship stays the same this year in terms of like the guidelines that you're looking for? You guys haven't changed in the last years, I'm just asking.
No, but the only thing, I suppose we need to look at the form because last year,
Yeah.
remember, had the issue that them not putting addresses. and-
Right.
So I'll.
Or putting the school
email you
address,
guys-
that's the whole-
So I'll email you guys what the form looked like this previous year, so we get ahead of it.
Right.
Wait, that was for the scholarship or for the awards?
Yeah,
Oh,
that might have been.
Well, that was for the awards, so what for the awards, you're right?
Yeah, but
with the
just in
scholarship.
general, like, for example, if somebody's gonna create a post for my village park street care, I'm gonna wanna approve it before it's out there. I don't want them posting it and then telling me, oh, hey, oops, like, or posting it and saying, yeah, it's been posted for a month, but then I've never seen it,
Exactly.
which is what happened last year. They were posted, but we never actually saw it. It never came up on our algorithm, so I just wanna see.
So we can't control you guys seeing it, but yes, we can tell you guys in terms of posting it, so I'm actually meeting with the team
No,
tomorrow.
but you're not understanding, we wanna see
Right,
the
so I'll
marketing
bring up,
post, right?
I'll bring
before
that
it's
up at
out
the
there.
meeting tomorrow and
Oh,
I'll let
just
you
to see if
know
they can do
what
it,
the
uh-huh.
feedback is based on that.
Okay.
So that ends the new business, and we look, there was no motions in this meeting. So we're up to announcements, guys, December 9th. We have committed to help out the Cultural Affairs Committee with their Mrs. Claus Holiday
I'll be
book
there.
reading. It is a
At
wonderful
what time is
event.
that? At 11, right?
No, it's before that.
Oh, no, what do you always do with this one?
December 9th, I have it on 11:30 in my calendar.
It says.
I have it in my calendar for 11:30.
But it's.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
I never used to make it, but this year I. 10 AM?
I have my,
It's a wonderful event.
Yeah, it's at 11, it starts at 12, so.
What?
We're
Hello?
promoting it for 11:30.
Oh, yeah, I had it as
It's not
11:30.
late. I mean, it's not early.
I'm not gonna be,
Just wanted you there, really, Jessica.
I have.
I'm always
uh,
late, that's why.
See,
This is called.
exactly, she stick with it, be at 10:30, we got her at 11:30.
Oh, we were
I have
talking.
football back.
Okay, so it's at 12, but you're telling people to be there 11, right?
Yeah, we're, the promotion of the time of the event is 11:30.
Do we have to dress like anything?
What's
But
that?
to set up.
I'm not sure. Mrs. Claus?
Like,
If
an
they're
Like
handling
an
it, I
Or
would
maybe
think-
you.
So it's just like attire, like,
I'll call her.
You gotta,
like,
We're gonna-
Ranger Rudolph, there you go.
No, I have a.
So EAB will be giving out the books, guys. I know we talked about this in the past. And this is one event that we've always, I mean, as far as I can recall, we've always traditionally participated in. And I think it's a wonderful event. I mean,
What is this one now?
that's
Oh, the same one.
holiday-
Okay.
holiday book meeting. Right. So finally, I will add this next month is December. So I make a motion that we have to make a motion that we do not have a meeting next month.
I second.
All right.
So we discussed. Discuss, we have a first and second, listen,
Don't worry.
after the motion, the second, you can discuss on it, let's open up for discussion. So all in favor?
I,
All right, guys, so our next meeting will be in January, and we thank you all for your commitment to the committee, for all you've done. I really, I truly appreciate it.
So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy
we
Christmas.
send each other happy spirit, happy.
We do.
Happy Christmas.
But it is a blessing to work with such a wonderful committee. I mean, I do hear a lot of things about committees.
Don't forget to bring the sweaters out tomorrow. It'll be cold.
Sweaters.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Well, it's gonna be like 40. Oh, we got-
Bring out the sweater.
Bring out the sweater.
I'm sorry. Cars and
Oh,
all.
wait,
So,
can I-
Yes, 7:09, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're done.